Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Hey, my name is Sean. I work with Senior Life, the Senior Care Plan.
Okay.
I'm sure you've probably seen us on TV, haven't you?
Yeah, I think I have.
Yeah. Well, listen, man, the only reason I'm out here bugging you today is because you recently got this letter in the mail from us about the state regulated final expense plans.
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, I understand. Listen, it's just my job because I am a state licensed agent. I do have to get you the information because you requested it through mail. It'll only take 5 minutes. Mind if I come in?
Sure, come on in. I could use the company.
Thank you. Okay, guys, so you should just watch the video on me knocking on the door. We'll kind of break that video down for you too, instructions on how that really goes down every time. Okay, we'll get more into that. That's a really vital part of being successful in this business is understanding how to knock on a door and get in the door. I will coach you guys on what I call the 3 sales process. There's 3 sales that have to be made to be successful in final expense sales. Okay, sale number 1 is getting in the door. Whether that's done with an appointment or on a door knock, you got to get in the door. Sale number 2 is you. You got to sell you. And then sale number 3 is the actual life insurance policy. If you do the first 2 right, the third one should just happen. Okay? Now, when you very first get in someone's door after a door knock, or even if it's an appointment, okay, you need to use your natural ability as a salesperson to get them to like you by building some small talk and building a little bit of rapport. Well, at least what I do is I compliment them on things in their homes, their possessions. If it's a nice china cabinet, or if it's a cool collection of something, or if it's a tall apartment complex, I will compliment them on their view because it's better than the view I have, okay? People just like to be complimented. It gives them something to talk about too, so they can relate back to you. And it kind of just takes the pressure off the fact that they just had a salesperson walk into their house, okay? We can't really teach you exactly how to handle that because every situation is different. And this is really where you need to shine with your natural ability, okay? This is why people in your life have told you should get into sales. This is what Mike and I saw in you when we hired you, okay? This is all on you right now, building that rapport when you very first enter that door and just, being chatty and likable, okay? Then you want to take control of the situation. Now, after I've sat down and I made my small talk, I want to reestablish control of the situation, okay? And that's an important part of what we're going to do. Now, Mike, talking about control, why is control so important?
If you can control the conversation process, you can lead the outcome of the conversation. You want to control congruency. It goes back to congruency again. Mm-hmm. So you want them to think that you're just like them. Because if you're just like them, then you're smart. It's really as simple as that. So you want to mimic how they talk, mimic how they move, how they hold themselves. You want to mimic those things because then they're going to feel just like you. Remember, they can go get insurance from anywhere, but they can only get you in one place. That's how you set yourself apart, is making yourself just like them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well spoken. Thank you. So, starting into the presentation, after I've made my small talk, this is how you're going to want to regain control. Whatever you guys are talking about, you're just going to kind of work your way out of that conversation and say, again, Mike, my name is Sean, and I'm the local benefits coordinator here for Mid-America Life. Just want to remind you who I am and why I'm here, okay? Now, I like to start the conversation off by making sure I can help you. Well, I don't know if I can help you until I know what exactly you need help with. Mm-hmm. So you did get this letter, okay?
Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, that's your handwriting there, right?
Must have.
Right. It's been a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then I'd just like to get an idea, Mike, what made you want to mail that back to us?
Well, my father died about 7 years ago, okay. And he thought he had life insurance. That it was actually a different kind. It was a term life insurance that we found out that day, and he didn't actually have coverage. And myself and my 2 sisters had to flip the money for that arrangement, and I really couldn't afford it at the time. And I really don't want my kids to have to go through that.
Mm-hmm. Well, first off, Mike, I'm terribly sorry for your loss. My condolences. What's interesting is that's actually why I even do what I do. Same type of thing happened to me. I grew up without a dad, basically. My dad left when I was a really young boy. So my grandfather stepped up and kind of played that role for me in my life. And I lost him too, actually about 6-7 years ago as well. And that was a real tough time for our family as well. Similar situation. We thought he had insurance and he didn't. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you understand how important that is, huh? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, listen, all I'm here to do today is just to simply tell you what you do qualify for. Okay? I'll get you some numbers. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. Okay? And if we can find something that fits your budget, okay, and you think that could benefit you, we'll go ahead and get you signed up today.
Well, I'm
Now,
on
if you
social,
don't-
I'm on Social Security.
Okay? So are 95% of my clients.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So we will definitely find something that fits your budget that
Okay.
you feel comfortable with. Okay? And if you do feel comfortable, like I said, we'll go ahead and get you enrolled today. But if you don't, then just simply say no, and I'm out of here quicker than I was in.
Okay.
But we're still friends, okay?
Sure.
All right? So I'm just going to simply start out by figuring out what you do qualify for. And that comes down to just a couple simple health questions and asking you some things about your medications, all right?
Okay.
Now, I'm only asking these questions because I do want to get you as many discounts as I possibly can, right? We want to bring the monthly premium as low as possible,
Sure.
okay?
Sure.
So if you think back, Mike, over the past 10 years, have you had any major health conditions? And I mean things like heart attack, stroke, cancer, heart attack failure, congestive heart failure, liver kidney failure, liver kidney disease, organ transplants, HIV, AIDS, lung disease, COPD, emphysema, Lou Gehrig's disease, neuromuscular diseases, major stuff. Have you had anything like that go on in the past 10 years?
Well, I was diagnosed with asthma.
Asthma, okay. And is asthma well under control?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you had asthma.
Yeah. Take
And-
some medications for it.
Are you on an inhaler called albuterol?
Yeah, I'm on albuterol, and I'm also taking a steroid.
Okay. And has the doctor diagnosed it as chronic asthma or just normal good old-fashioned asthma?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, no problem, no big deal at all. And other than the asthma, anything else?
No, that's the only thing at this point.
Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, do you use any form of tobacco products?
Well, I used to smoke.
Okay, and how long ago did you quit?
I quit 5 years ago.
5 years ago. Congratulations, man.
Well, thank you.
I hear it's not an easy thing to do.
No, it isn't. It's the hardest thing I ever did in my life.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Just punch yourself in the back for that one.
Should I?
Yeah, I think you
Okay,
should.
all right.
I'm actually just working on quitting smoking myself,
Really?
and it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 4 months in now
Wow.
to where I started quitting. Now, in the first month, I cheated a little bit.
Mhm.
Right, I had 1 or 2 a week, but I'm 3 months 0 cigarettes right now. And hats off to you. It has
Oh,
been.
congratulations.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I really do. I really appreciate it. Okay, so good thing is because you quit when you did, it doesn't affect your ability for insurance. It's not going to affect your rates either for any carrier. So that's
Cool.
That's awesome, right?
Cool.
So you mentioned asthma and albuterol and a steroid. Okay. Do you take any other medications? Things for blood pressure or?
No, I think they get me on some cholesterol medication and
Okay,
some
it's like a
blood
statin,
pressure.
like a simvastatin or
Yeah.
atorvastatin or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so sort of statin or statin
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay, so we got cholesterol. Okay. Blood pressure, good.
I'm on high blood pressure medications too. I think it's something they call a water pill.
Okay, so is it hydrochlorothiazide?
Yeah, I think it's
You're-
some big long name.
Yeah, hydrochlorothiazide.
that
That sound about
sounds
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and with that hydrochlorothiazide, anything like lisinopril or metoprolol or amlodipine?
Lisinopril, they put me on that too.
Okay, so we got a water pill, and generally with the high blood pressure, you got water pills and a blood pressure pill.
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm good.
Otherwise, you're good.
Mhm.
Okay. Believe it or not, man, you're actually in great health.
Oh.
And based off of what you've told me, you'll be able to qualify for some of the best plans out there.
Cool.
Okay. Now, because you are in good health and you've done a good job of taking care of yourself, I'll go ahead and run a nationwide check for you. But I'm gonna tell you right now, it's gonna be Mutual of Omaha.
Okay.
They're gonna come in with the lowest rates. Have you heard of Mutual of Omaha?
Oh yeah.
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 Everybody knows who they are.
Yeah.
You probably actually watched their show that they had,
Wild
right?
Kingdom, yeah.
Wild Kingdom, right?
Yeah.
So they've been around forever. Mutual of Omaha. And again, can you remind me? I know you put down here on your lead card, born in 1950.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now 1950 and it's 2022. What does that make you now? 72 years young?
Mm-hmm.
Got that right?
Yeah.
72 years young, no tobacco,
I'm
and you
getting
don't,
my exercise.
yeah, you don't look like it, man.
Pushing 73.
Yeah. What state are we in right now? We're in Minnesota, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, a 72-year-old male, no tobacco. Now, thinking about, the reason you get insurance, okay, and the whole reason you fill this thing out is you don't want to burden your family. You just were mentioning about your dad passing away, the funeral expenses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it sounded to me like it was most important for you to not have to leave that burden on your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have kids or what?
I've got 3 kids.
3 kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boy and 2 girls.
Boy and 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And from what I'm gathering right now, they're important to you, and the last thing you want to do is burden with the financial burden.
Right.
Expense.
They can actually afford to do it for me, but I really don't want them to have to do it.
It's admirable of you. Did your parents leave it on you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So that's why you're going to take care of it for them.
Right.
And even though they can take care of it now, Mike, right? Things can change in an instant for somebody.
Mhm.
They may not be able to 10 years now,
Sure.
20 years down the road.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, you've lived a long life. I'm sure you've seen the ups and downs that life can bring.
Mm-hmm.
Kids may be able to do it now, doesn't mean they can in 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we do these types of things.
Mhm.
Okay. So we think about covering the funeral expenses. Do you want to be buried or cremated?
Well, I'm Catholic, but I don't know about that cost of burial. I've heard that cremation is less expensive.
Well, it really doesn't matter how you slice it or dice it. Cremation is cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
It truly is. We do partner with a company that I can talk to you about. It's called Legacy Assurance. They can discount funeral expenses for you.
Okay.
All right. Legacy is a nonprofit organization. They do a couple of things. First thing they do is they lock in caskets or any funeral merchandise for that matter at wholesale pricing. Okay. And the second thing they do is they aid in negotiations and planning. So here's a little brochure on Legacy. Lock in a casket at $2,000. A vault at $750 and headstone goes $850. Now that's a fraction of what people normally pay. Okay.
I'm not sure how much it actually costs.
Yeah.
Anymore.
So the average cost is about $4,500, as high as $6,000.
Okay.
Okay. This is what people have paid before with us and their savings.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta understand the funeral homes are a business and they're there to make a profit.
Okay.
Okay. So when they sell you merchandise, it's sold at a massive markup,
Okay.
usually about 500%. What Legacy does here is they bypass all the middlemen. They sell it directly to you at a wholesale price.
Okay.
So as soon as you become a member, which means as soon as you buy a policy from me today,
Mm-hmm.
you're locked in. These prices are guaranteed for life.
Now, I've got a friend that has a funeral home here in town, so I really like to kind of go through them.
Yeah, that's totally fine. We work with any funeral home.
Okay.
Okay. He'll actually really like working with us because we're going to get him paid right away.
Okay.
You won't have to worry about your kids trying to figure out who has the money, trying to finance things. Okay. We call him, we get taken care of right away. All right. And if he's willing to negotiate on his pricing, we'll go ahead and buy the casket from him too. So we don't have to pay the shipping costs for yours.
Okay. Cool.
So he'll still get good business and he'll get paid quickly.
Okay.
Okay. So that's just an added benefit of working with us, which is Mid-America Life. Okay. That comes with your insurance on a $5 monthly membership fee.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so it's $5 a month, and you get massive savings in your funeral merchandise. The Wish team will negotiate the pricing at the end and work within your funeral home of choice. So instead of your traditional burial costing 12 grand, now it's going to cost more like 5 or 6. Now we're in that realm of a cremation. We do the same thing for a cremation. If you did decide you want cremation, instead of it being 3-4 grand, we get it down to $1,500, $2 grand. That's all done through Legacy.
Sure.
Now, what pays for all of it is your life insurance policy. Now, if you want to do a traditional burial, we can get that paid for. Would you want to leave money to the kids too?
If I could, it would be nice.
It'd be nice, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just going to give you a couple options to look at, okay?
Okay.
I think, looking at the big end here, $20,000, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's $164.77 a month.
Ooh, that's a little out of my range.
Okay, it's no problem. A $15,000 plan is down to $124.38.
Maybe I can't afford this.
Okay. $8,000, $67.83. And at this mark, Mike, you'll at least cover your funeral expenses.
Mm-hmm.
That financial burden won't be left on your 3 kids.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be paid for and covered.
Mm-hmm.
You might not be able to leave any money behind, but you also didn't leave any debt behind. Now we can start here, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
and if you decided you want to increase this later on down the road, we can always do an increase for you.
Okay.
But this right now is better than nothing.
Okay. What would 10 grand come to?
$10,000,
Mm-hmm.
$83.99. So we're under $100.
Okay.
Out of those options that you're looking at right now, which one do you know you can afford?
I know I can do the 8K.
Okay, so we'll just start there. I'm gonna go ahead and get an app started for you.
Sure.
The first thing we gotta do is make sure you are approved.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you're not approved, then there really ain't much to discuss here,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
So I'm just gonna need a couple of things from you. You can maybe a driver's license and some information, and then we'll plug you into the system. They'll run your medical check, make sure you are approved, and if you are, we'll just go ahead and schedule your first payment. Okay, now your first payment doesn't have to happen right away. We can put that out for a little bit of time if you need it. When do you get your next paycheck?
I get paid on the first of every month.
Because is it from Social Security?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll just go ahead and do your first payment then, okay?
Okay.
That gives you a little bit of time
Sure.
before we're even committed to anything here.
Sure.
Okay. You mind grabbing your driver's license for me? And I'll also need your checkbook as well, because we're going to put in your account information too.
Okay.
And that's it. That's the presentation. It's pretty simple. At this point in time, you're filling out the app. There's going to be spots where you're going to get into objections. We're going to cover that in our objections video. Okay? But that is the presentation for selling. We went with Mutual of Omaha because we know he's going to get approved for it. We know it's going to be extremely low rates and it's a recognizable name. Okay? You can also run policies with Senior Life Insurance. Okay? They are pretty lenient in their underwriting. They've outtake anybody. And Legacy Assurance is linked directly to Senior Life within the pricing. Okay? We'll be teaching you guys how to sell Senior Life. We'll be teaching you guys how to sell Mutual of Omaha and all of the other carriers. But that is a generic, basic way on how to do your presentation and how to handle the presentation as it came up. Mike even had a couple of good, I won't call them objections, but realistic things that happen.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys might not have realized it, but I was able to navigate through those pretty seamlessly.
If you notice, Sean never got surprised by anything. That is so important when you're in a house. Don't let anything ever surprise you. That's what the person is trying to do. They're trying to shock you. They're trying to get you off their game. Whether they realize it or not, that's what they're doing. And never be shocked by anything. Just take it as if you've heard it 100 times and move on to the next thing.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you guys the truth right now. We did not script this before we made this video. We wanted it to be as real as possible. So this was not rehearsed. We did not practice it. It was just like I was doing a presentation and selling somebody, and he asked questions and said things that are in real life. This is how it will go.
Just have fun.
Have fun.
Have fun. Make friends. Friends buy from friends. Have fun. Make friends. They're going to buy from you. They're not going to buy the insurance.
We'll see you in the next one.